Hello, race fans, and welcome to the first round of the playoffs here at the Elite Racing Network for the Juicy Spider Truck Series. This is the Homestead 135 from the iconic Homestead Miami Speedway, deep in the south of Florida, not far from South Beach. I am James Watson, joined as always by my broadcast partner slash racing control man, Matthew Weeks, and Nick Massey stepping in as producer. First of all, Matt, what are you looking forward to for tonight?
I'm just looking for a good 2 wide, 3 wide racing. This track is wide, multiple lanes, so I'm just ready to see some good racing here.
Yes, sir, and good racing we shall see. Let's bring you the starting grid for tonight's race at Homestead. Your front row, Ethan Stanley next to Caleb Pecumer. A great qualifying effort from Caleb. William White and Jade Rasimas occupy the second row. Ty McIntosh and Gerald Campbell. Row 3, Cody McCorkle, JP Phillips. Row 4, Trey Eidson, Dylan Javier rounding out the top 10. Leighton Norgard, Frank Fody round out the first page. Then we have Austin Anamdit and Seth Rawls on row 7. Jeff Ryan and Jeff Green, and all Jeff row 8. Michael Hosick and Justin Vandermarl, row 9. Trey Holmes and Logan Shea round out the top 20. Ricky Harden and Joe Francis, row 11. Mitchell Javier and Rob Mooney round out the second page. Josh Adams, Sean Judson, row 13. Kyle Hanchon, Kurt Gibson, row 14. Rounding out the top 30 is Sam Boutwell. I'm Bryce Fody with Harrison Talon and Connor Thompson rounding out the field.
And to touch on Caleb real quick, you said qualifying second. That's Wednesday. He qualified good at where were we at? Kansas, and then comes here to qualify good. At Homestead. I know different cars, but kind of similar with the throttle time. But he's really starting to turn around the qualifying effort. And when you start qualifying good, you finish good.
Yes, sir. His qualifying is starting to come around and get real good here. He's going to hopefully be able to hold on to this all-important track position.
And what a perfect time to get qualifying right when the playoffs start.
Yes, sir. Ethan Stanley will lead us to the restart zone. Green means go. We are underway at Homestead.
Yeah, it's going to be side by side a lot right here. I think we're going to see guys drive kind of hard to get some track position.
Yes, sir. Oh, we got one in the truck already up near the wall. Is that Gerald Campbell? Already some playoff implications on lap 1 here at Homestead.
Yeah, and I'm looking at 3 wide with Seth, Frank, and Dylan back there. Oh, Seth's getting turned off. Oh
no! Oh, he gets hooked into the wall. Oh, back up the track. Oh, he gets hit by Harrison Talon. Oh no! Oh my! Once again, championship implications strikes
and
again.
That's not the way you want to start your playoffs. Early on, first race, now you're really playing from behind. And Seth started 10 points below the cut already, so this is really going to hurt.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a must-win position when you're just couldn't quite see who hit him initially. Is that okay? So we're 3 wide. Seth in the middle of Dylan Javier and Frank Fody. And a little bit of a squeeze. Seth nowhere to go. Gets clipped by... Couldn't quite tell who that was, but... Oh, and then the truck that clipped him just went straight up into the wall and might have taken a couple others. Who is... I can't quite make that...
This is Jeff Green right here who got him
Jeff
Seth.
Green. Yeah,
and then
no steering up into Logan Shea, demolishes the 4. Good job by Rob Mooney to avoid it. Oh my. And Harrison Talon putting the finish, the cherry on top of the Dookie Sunday that is Seth Rawls' race. Just barely clips the front of the 25. Couldn't see. Oh, yeah. He jinked when he should have juked. This is unfortunate for Harry, and that might be night done for one of our playoff competitors already. As you see, the playoff drivers all highlighted in green, non-playoff folk highlighted in blue. So already got one green number all the way down at the bottom, unfortunately. Well, Mr. Race Control Man, what is your call on that? I think.
I'm just calling it a racing deal. They're 3 wide coming off the corner. Yeah, the 41 moved up just a tad, but they're all just tight 3 wide racing there.
I agree wholeheartedly.
And like I told Seth, y'all are 3 wide. It's lap 2, and y'all are 3 wide. Things are gonna happen when you go 3 wide real early, especially on the cold tires. Like Gerald hinted at it over the race chat, and I didn't speak on it because we had this wreck. But we updated these tires, I think, a few months ago, and it's like once you hit the track on these tires and they're cold, it's really, really slick until you get some heat buildup in it. So personally, I would have waited on the 3 wide move for another 2 laps or 3 to get more heat, but you're racing and it's 90 laps, so you're trying to get as much as you can early because it's not a very long race.
And actually, it was only lap 2 when they stopped wrecking. All this took place coming to the end of lap 1.
Yeah. To me, especially early on in the playoff first race, you really don't want to try to put people 3 wide. You don't want to, especially mid-pack. Yeah, you want to gain as much as you can early, but it's always good to kind of start off slow and then work your way up to that. Just to get the feel on how the playoffs are going to go, because you get to these and every single point matters.
Absolutely. You don't want to be sitting there at the end just thinking, man, if only I did this better, if only this didn't happen, then maybe I'd still be fighting. As Ethan Stanley will bring the field to the restart zone. Green, Ian's going. We're back underway at Homestead. Great jump by Stanley.
Real good jump, and it looked like the bottom had a really good jump there. I know in the past, the outside's been kind of sketchy. You get a little bit more wheel spin up there. Ooh, someone caught the wall right there. I think that was Cody.
The single file out for the top 2 right now. See William White restarted on the front row, was able to get by Pecumer on the initial start.
Yep, you're seeing guys really running that outside the middle lane. They haven't went all the way up to the 3rd lane yet, but it's still better momentum on the exit. And this is what you're going to do if you want to get track position. The only bad thing about it is that right front's going to be crying in about 15 laps.
Yeah, and that's something you have to contend with too, is that this is one of the most iconic tracks when it comes to tire wear and murdering your Goodyears. So everyone's got to be careful about that and not burn them up too quickly. See side by side, Cody McCorkle trying to get track position.
Fighting Tide there. He's driving hard a little. The rear went around just a little bit right there. Kind of driving. To me, I'm taking this as my eyes right here as a guy that races in the playoff stuff. Like, I think it's too early to be driving the truck that hard. But it is a short race, like I said, and good move right there by Cody to clear him and get down at the bottom. This is what you want to do, is just right there on the bottom to take care of those tires.
Absolutely. That's what I always tend to do here. I just wrap the bottom, try to save, and hope for the best. Honestly, I'm kind of butt cheeks when it comes to running the top side, so it also helps me keep all the fenders and stuff on my vehicle racing here.
Yeah, the running the outside it's different. It's a challenge. It took me a little bit to kind of figure it out because I am a bottom feeder, big time. Looks like Cody's losing a spot to Leighton here. Leighton's really running that outside really well right now. And he's going to stay up there. I figured he was going to drop down low.
Like, Caleb McHumor got back up into P2, getting by William White.
Yeah, he's really been picking up his speed, and this is the time where that speed you've been finding all year long and getting better. This is really where you want to start showing it. Unlike the other two series we have with the play, we don't have, you know, multiple rounds. This is one round and then the champ race. So you have 4 races to get into the, either win the race or get as many points as you can so you can point your way in there.
Yeah, and that's what really makes this difficult. Not any time for any real mulligans, you know. You've got to have the best races of your season, of your life, if you're going to try to make it through, especially with the talent level that we have in this series.
Yeah, I would say like this series is not as stacked as the other series, but I feel like this one is one of the harder championships to win because there's not that many races in the playoffs.
Yeah, and that's something Ethan Stanley is trying to see if he can do as he continues to lead here at Homestead.
Yeah, and he's been on a roll lately. He's been winning a lot of races and just been running good. I mean, he's been up here top 3 pretty much every single week. I know there was a stretch right there where he was getting caught in some stuff and wasn't getting the finishes, you know, that he deserves. But lately, he's just been on a roll and he's really carrying this momentum to start off the playoffs.
Absolutely. But, you know, they're not getting away from him.
Yeah, these 2 boys behind him are really, I mean, they're not losing time. It looks like they gained a little bit, and they're side by side. Usually, you start losing time when you're racing someone like this. And I wish they wouldn't race this hard early in the race. I'm weird about things. It's still too early in the race to be going as hard as I see some people are.
Yeah, because as it stands right now, if we don't get any more cautions here, this is going to be a one-stop race. So you got to make sure you can get these tires to last as long as they can. And again, as we've already discussed, it's not easy to get these tires to last at this track. This and Darlington, I think, are the first 2 tracks that pop into everyone's mind when you think of the hardest tracks on tires in NASCAR. So any sort of pushing, especially early on like this, you imagine that a lot of these guys are going to be suffering here hardcore within the next 15 laps or so.
Leighton entered a little high, wanted to run that first seam where Caleb was trying to go to. He thought Leighton was going to go all the way to the bottom. But I'd be worried about Leighton. He's really drove hard this first run, really used outside a lot, got some track position, and he's... Okay, I thought he was going to stay up there. He actually went down to the bottom. Now, this is where you kind of want to do it. Now, you got the track position. You're not leading yet, but you want to cool those tires off to where you just drove hard to gain like 6-7 spots right there off that restart.
Yeah, and you know, we've seen Leighton have some pretty good runs in races where tire conservation was a lot more at the forefront. Think back to IRP. He had a fantastic run there, keeping the tires under him. So far, things are continuing for this 12 truck, and at the best time for it to happen.
Yeah, 100%. Looking at, you know, the leaderboard here, 9 of the top 10 are all playoff guys, and then you have 2 guys Seth's sitting on pit road fixing damage, and Nabnet 13th. So really, like, looking at this, you gotta gain. Like, we're going back to points again, but you're gonna have to outrace these guys every single week, and these guys are gonna be in the top 10 every week. So now is you gotta outrace these guys. You gotta figure out ways to beat these guys and outsave these guys on these type of tires, because at this track, he said, it wears a lot. So now you got to play that in strategy. If it goes green all the way, and what lap am I going to pit? There's a lot of things that can come into play here.
Absolutely, as you see Javier side by side with JP Phillips. JP able to get the spot.
Yeah, I'm surprised JP didn't qualify good. He usually is a really good qualifier, and he runs up there. Looks like he had a bad night, kind of qualifying there, but starting to move up a little bit. Hopefully, he's not burning the tires up. This is a good little battle right here, though. There's like 5 trucks all within each other.
Yeah, Jesse Rasimas is doing a great job as the highest running non-playoff driver. Holding the last spot of the top 10 is side by side with the 54 and the 41 of Frank Foti.
Yeah, and I think Justin's going to have some good momentum right here to be able to clear him. Hopefully, get down to the bottom. There. For the seam. I like this line. This is, oh, he didn't go all the way down to it, but that first seam, putting the left sides right there on that seam, that is my favorite line around the track.
He knew you were about to point it out, so he couldn't.
Yeah, I was telling him to run that line before joining here. I was talking to him, giving him some tips, trying to help him out there, get a little bit of speed, probably help conserve the tire. I feel like that seam right above it, if you ride it, it gets you a little bit loose. That way it burns the rear tire a little bit more, so you're not always sitting on the right front all the time. And then late in the run, I think it feels really good.
SP now. Frank is about to lose another spot to Hosek.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. He's kind of lost some spots here. Looks like him and a couple guys are really just taking it easy down there, just trying to save. But it's so hard, especially when those guys are wrapping outside, and we touched on this at a lot of tracks. It's very hard to pass on the bottom at a lot of places, and this is one of those places.
And you see a little further down the order is Gerald Campbell. Doesn't look like he's been able to get enough damage fixed on that 31 truck.
Yeah, I didn't see how hard he hit the wall. Or go back to look on that, turn 1, lap 1 there, because I was so caught up on looking at the caution we had, coming out of 4 there. So hopefully he didn't get too much damage. I don't know if he pitted or not. I wasn't looking at that as I was talking to the drivers about the incident that happened at that time.
Also, something else that I have just realized, there's only one Ryan brother in this race, and it is not the Ryan that's in the playoffs.
I am noticing that too. Usually you see them both, which is crazy. I thought he did talk about probably missing this race, possibly. So that sucks. That puts you in a big hole, and when you miss a race in the playoffs, it pretty much 100% puts you in a must-win situation. So luckily, looking at the schedule, you got Richmond, Gateway, and I forget the other track, but Richmond's the next race, and he's one of those guys that's really good on the short track. So I could see him possibly showing up next week and being really good and contending for a win.
Yeah, you think back to that absolutely clash of the Titans-esque battle with Ethan Stanley to get the win on the final lap at Wilkesboro a handful of races ago. So it's definitely looking like it's still in Tommy's favor, but you never want to have a must-win in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's not fun. I've been in that situation before. It's not a good time. And it looks like Layton's kind of struggling now. Looks like he's burnt the tires up right on cue, about 15 laps after I cue it. Look, William and Caleb has really put some pressure on them right here, and they're starting to lose some time to Stanley with this race between these three.
That they are. This is music to the eyes of Ethan Stanley. Yes, I know what I said. I did that on purpose.
Will's trying to use the outside. I think the bottom's better. I think actually when you burn them tires off, it looks like the bottom really rotates the entry you're better on the bottom on the entry and middle, but the outside just carries the momentum. But give it a few laps and this outside will be a little bit slower enough for the guys on the bottom to really be able to slide up on the exit and slide up right in front of the guy. Just like that. Boom.
And you know, that's kind of the one of the main reasons why you focus on tire conservation at a track like Richmond. You know, taking away the it being such a handful on tires. You know, it's very easy to defend position on the outside, but if you wait for them to kill their tires, then it makes it a lot harder, dare I say impossible at times, to really hold you off on that outside lane.
Yeah, and Layton's doing a really good job. He's really carrying the momentum on the outside up there. Will just needs to really hook that bottom. You just got to build a big run right here. I never liked the outside 3 and 4. I feel like I don't get the massive run like you do at a 1 and 2. Yeah, I feel like if he's going to set up a pass, he needs to be a little bit closer, run the outside in 1 and 2, and then you're going to build this massive run down the backstretch and be able to wrap the bottom in 3 and 4 and then slide up right in front of him out of 4. Or you're just going to jump to his outside right here and prove me wrong.
Yep, gotta love it. As William Wright back up into P2.
Yeah, it kind of looked like Layton knew that he was faster too, and he was up there running the same line, so Layton kind of let him have it and lifted and just get in line right here. It's all about trying to manage. He knows he burned his tires up now. He's struggling, so he's just trying to cool the temps down, get the tires back to life a little bit, so that way he can keep some good track position for this last 60 laps here.
See McCorkle looking to battle with the 34 Phillips.
Yep, and I forgot to touch on stage was lap 30, so you know, Stanley with another stage win, and a lot of playoff guys right there with stage points.
Yeah, in fact, almost all of the stage point earners being playoff guys.
Yep. Sorry, I was watching someone got in the wall. Someone, it looked like Trey really tried to get up next to the wall just to try it out, and he got it just a tad too high and just kissed it a little bit.
Yep, we're gonna see a lot of that. Not the Darlington stripe, but the Homestead stripe. We see almost
Adams.
3 wide here.
Ooh, Adams with a good run. Oh, sends it 3. Oh.
That's okay. Potential maybe connection issues here.
That always worries me when they blink out and they don't instantly come back. I'm like, oh no, he's gone.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of people, like, I would say iRacing problems. I wouldn't say they're internet problems, because a lot of people have been having issues of just randomly lagging out of races a lot lately.
Yeah, I've been seeing that, and a lot of lag overall. Like, I've been hearing a lot of people struggling with FPS issues.
Yep. Yeah, I had that issue I think at Daytona. It was like, I'm so used to running 130, 140 everywhere we go, but when we ran Daytona a couple weeks ago, I was like only getting 40 frames on the front stretch, and it was horrible.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, but we're really starting to see the guys who took care of their stuff and who didn't really gain little, not as much time as I thought, but there's like we touched on earlier, there's quite a few good drivers in this field that really know how to take care of their stuff.
So you see the 55 and the 60 battling with each other.
Yep, and I'm seeing this 88 truck. He's a good buddy of mine. I feel like he drives the car, or truck, I should say, tonight, just like me, real easy on it. Just take care of the tires, and all of them will come to you late in the run, and he's really starting to pick them off one by one here. Yeah, right on that seam. Gets truck just a little loose. It's crazy. I know we touch on the people watching, but like that seam, what I'm talking about, it's like we run a fixed setup, and a lot of the fixed setups are really tight in the cars, trucks, whatever. And that seam, if you just hook it just right with the left side, it really helps the truck, car, whatever you're driving at the time, rotate through the corner, especially the center of the corner, and you really pick up some speed there. And that's why I was kind of touching on that. I'd like to see guys try to do that with this tight truck. Maybe help preserve the right front a little more, get the rear end a little squirrely out of the corners, maybe carry some more speed. You know what they say, loose is fast. Oh, a little touch in the wall there by Trey.
Yeah, this battle continuing to rage on. Oh, we're going to be 3 wide as Sam gets the wall a little bit.
Yeah, this is my favorite part of the run at Homestead, when people's tires are worn out and you're trying to make moves, and everyone's running different lines. Some running the very bottom, the seam, like the middle, putting the right sides on the high seam, people running the wall. Like, this track is just so awesome. Oh, he tried to cut down. He tried to cut down below and got loose right there. Too much wheel in the truck, Trey. Too much.
Nerve-wracking, but we stay clean and we stay green, as now he's got the one of Jane Rasimas to his inside, trying to take advantage. Didn't lose too much ground to Anabnit ahead. The Josh Adams trying to make a spot up on Ty McIntosh. Ty with the new look this week. Dark blue truck, as opposed to his usual kind of white, red, and blue truck. I like it. Looks clean.
Yeah, it looks good. It looks better than, to me, it looks better than the other one. I didn't know it was him at first when I first seen it.
Right? Like, who's this guy? Steve Frankfurter look into the inside of Hossack.
Yeah, this battle's been going on for good, like 10 laps
right
here between
time.
these two. Yeah, these guys, they've been going at it for so long. I swear I seen Hossack earlier running the bottom, Frank on the outside. Now they switched. Yeah, just the outside just carries so much momentum. Looks like Leighton's kind of, did he pit, or did he just he had to pit?
Yeah, it is right around that time. Pit window is open, and we have the first of the top runners here on pit road. Or no, we don't. He's right there. Never mind.
Just come out. Yeah, I was looking at it in the practice and get like 50 laps. So yeah, that's right on it. He took a chance, hit a little early, and try to gain as much time as he can right here while everyone's out. I'm sure we'll be seeing guys start coming in about 2 laps. 45 to 50, I think, is going to be the money.
Yeah, curious to see if we're going to get anyone maybe looking for an overcut. it definitely helps towards the end of the race, but man, it just depends on how much time you lose overall staying out, knowing the tire fall off we have.
And that's my problem. I do that a lot. I always try to do the overcut thinking, you know, I want to be on the tack late in the race, but on iRacing, it does not seem to work as much as it does in real life sometimes.
Yeah, definitely seem. Well, to me, yeah, it definitely seems like the undercut is a lot more powerful and a lot more consistently great in real life than on iRacing, where it looks like the overcut tends to win out more often than not.
Yeah. And I have lost to quite a few races that way, so. Good pit road entry with my wheel right here. That was clean right. Oh yeah. Split it right in half, 45, 46. Wouldn't be much longer. I think, you know, you can only go Stanley can probably get maybe like 5 or 6 more laps on it. So, I mean, if you do overcut it, it's not like a massive overcut.
The teammates Adams and McCorkle side by side. Adams, one of our non-playoff drivers, but able to hold on to the spot.
Yeah, and he's really took care of his tires. He looked like he's saved real early in the run and has just been driving through the field the last 10, 12 laps.
Curious to see where the pit strategy is going to come out. See, William White has also brought it down.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here thinking I wouldn't go much longer. I mean, I know you could run it out and be like 51, 52, like we said, but I still wouldn't go much further than where we are. You already got, I think he pitted, Norgard pit on lap 40, so you already got 8 laps now. If you're going to go 50, that's 10 laps. That's a lot of time because I'm sure Layton's been, you know, putting down lap times over a second faster than what everyone has been doing a lot, you know, forever now. So he's going to have a big gap once this the pit cycles through.
Yes, sir.
So it looks like McCorkle's kind of struggling a little bit. Looks like he's burnt his tires off. He's starting to lose spots here and there.
There goes Rob Mooney, I believe, on fresher tires as well.
Yep. The difference, the tires and old tires, this is where you got to be careful. You really catch the old tires really fast when you're on new ones.
Yeah, and this is one of our best opportunities to get a caution. Is a little bit of a issue in communication leads to a car on freshies running over a car with old tires and sending them around up into the wall. But so far, it has not happened yet. Here we go, race leader in. Whoa, my lord. What a pit entry for Ethan Stanley. There's getting everything in Scott, and then there's whatever the heck that was. That is crazy.
Yeah, I think he asked for a little too much right there. I think he gave up a little bit of time as soon as he hit the cone. He had to slow down a lot. Oh yeah, he really drove it in there.
I think he gave up a whole lot of air holding his breath trying to make sure he didn't get the penalty or spin it.
I've been looking at it. He looks good.
See Dylan Navier bringing it down as well.
Justin, I hear Josh just called out. He's pitting. Frank's pitting. Yeah. Pit road's about to be busy right here.
Yes, sir. Here's Pecumer. He's able to pick himself up a lap lead point for his troubles. Trey Eitzen now holding on to the race lead.
Yeah, he's went further than what I expected anyone would go. I thought you could maybe get 52 max, but he's stretched it an extra lap. Let's see if he's going to come down pit road here. Oh,
Nope, he
lap.
stays out. Interesting. Here comes McIntosh trying to get his lap back.
Just different. There's so much faster on the first row. Yep, he's pitting right here.
Looks Francis in as well.
Alright, looking at the leaderboard here, it does look like Norgard will be the leader once this cycles through.
Trey Holmes now inherits the race lead.
These four guys have went further on fuel than what I would have. I wonder if they put fuel in under that first caution we had, you know, get a little bit extra.
Yeah, that is an excellent point there. But whatever they had, it's gone now as they're bringing it in. Hanshaw in, Ryan in, Rasimas in. But still no Trey Holmes.
Like I said earlier, me and him are very similar when we're racing, and he's doing exactly what I would do. Stretches out until I'm empty, knowing I'm, you know, the last car. I got a big gap to the guys that did pit. Right now, just run it dry, and then
we got
attack.
3 wide right now. Dylan Javier, Eitzen, and Adams, they were 3 wide going through 3 and 4. Trey on the freshest tires, trying to put them to use here as Trey Holmes brings it down, and we will give... Oh, Eitzen, big sideways! Huge save from the 92. He put those fresh tires to too much use. Good gracious.
Yep, them cold tires attacking like that. What we touched, like I talked about earlier. You know, you coming off pit road, tires are still cool. He hasn't got a full lap in. Yep, and just got in the throttle too much too early.
Well,
snaps.
Those rear tires are warm now.
Yep, got to cool them down here. Got a little. Now they're hot.
Yeah, well, it's a good thing he did the most laps of anyone, or of most of anyone in that first stint, because that's less he has to deal with those trash rear tires now.
Exactly.
Silver linings.
Now you did go far enough. You're at the point to where it's right at the range where you can just full send. You don't have to worry about saving any tires, and you can just be on attack the entire time.
As we look at our race leader, but how long will he be our race leader? That time he was able to eke the gap out on Stanley. Don't know if Ethan got held up in or no, wait, I think I'm stupid and got my math wrong. I am. Ethan Stanley was a lot faster on that last lap.
Yeah. You see 4, 2, 4. It's inconsistent, but then, you know, he's coming up on lap cars, or not lap cars, but slower trucks as the pit cycle stuff. But now that he had, looks like some clean air, he's really putting down some lap times, 4, 5 tenths faster
Half
than the
a
leader.
Second, almost 6 tenths right there. As White now battling for the lead with Norgard, which is going to make things even easier for Ethan Stanley.
Yeah, but I don't think we should have a hard fight here. He has way more fresher tires and should easily make him right by him. This is going to be interesting here.
It sure is. You see, look at the pit stop graphic. Freshest tires appear to be Pecumer and Adams right here in the top 10.
Yep, and 15 seconds back for Adams. That's a lot of time to gain.
Yeah, it's not impossible. You'd be surprised the difference in time when you get a good tire offset here, but even for Homestead, that's a lot.
Now, what William needs to do right here is try to, excuse me, manage his tires, because Stanley's going to be there, but you want to not overheat them while you're in the clean air. You want to take care of them, try to manage as much as you can, and then push once he gets right on your back bumper, and he's getting there.
As here comes Stanley. And there goes Stanley up into P2.
It's the fresher tires way faster. It makes things so much easier.
William White trying to try to summon classic Florida weather.
Exactly what I was about to say. He's hoping and praying for some Florida weather right now. Stanley's just he was so good early in the race, and now where he has these fresher tires, he's just so much better. And that, like I said, that seam, just wrapping that seam right there, just carries so much speed through 3 and 4.
Yes, sir, as here comes Ethan Stanley back into the lead of this race.
And now, like I touched on what Will trying to manage now, Stanley, you had a big gap on a lot of people before you pitted. Now just don't overdrive it. Just manage your tires. Take it easy. Just knock down some solid lap times, and if there ain't no wreck, this victory is pretty much sitting in your lap.
Yes, sir, as we see Adams looking to the inside of Vandermarl.
Yeah, that's one guy I'd be kind of worried about. He was really good on the long run late in that first run, and he went longer than everybody, has the freshest tires than the guys in front of him. He's not gaining as much time as I would like him to gain if he had a shot, but it's still going to net out to a pretty good solid finish from where he started this race.
Yeah, he's still going to get quite a few positions here.
Yeah, just the thing, I just think the overcut's not as good on here, and the dirty air, since they added the dirty air real bad on a lot of these vehicles, it's even more difficult to pass people. So
music to everyone's ears, surely.
Maybe some.
Those who are leading races, it's that thing you want to hear the most. If you're in literally any other spot, you're like, no, change it.
And Justin's gonna fight Adams here. He's gonna put up a pretty good fight. Justin barely missed the playoffs, where he missed some races. You know, he was on vacation for a couple weeks, so he missed a couple races. Almost still made it in, just unlucky wreck last week at Daytona, put him below the cut. And now it's all about just trying to finish good, and he's out here running top 10. And that's the goal right now, just top 10s, try to get top 5s, and then work your way up into being consistent and racing for wins.
Yeah, and you know, it makes sense that Justin's fighting so hard, because you blink and you miss it. We're already almost 20 laps to go here.
Yep, well, I mean, I talked about it earlier, 90 lap race is not very long, and I know I always touch on people going hard early in the race, but these shorter races, you kind of got to do that to get the track position, to put yourself in position to be at least be a contender for the race. Justin's not making this any easy on Adams.
He sure the heck isn't, as both of them have also run down McIntosh in the process.
Adams going to do the old move, pin him behind the slow truck. I thought Justin was going to go middle.
He's looking, he's sending it now. We're going to be not quite three wide off of 4, as Adams is going to clear both of them, use the pick to perfection. But Vandermarl not giving up.
Right back to his inside, but Adams is going to have all the momentum right here.
He sure is, and that's job just about done for the 26.
And yeah, he lost some time in that exchange racing those guys, a couple of tenths. I just don't think anyone really has anything for Stanley tonight. Stanley just showed up and has been quick. In practice, I think he was the fastest car in practice. He put it on pole and has been up front leading this race every single lap besides the laps that, he was down pit road.
Yeah, and so far, Big Humor hasn't been making the advances I think any of us would have anticipated. He has finally caught Norgard, was bump drafting him there a little bit too, as he sends it to the inside of the 12. He's gonna have him clear. Big Humor back up into P3.
Have a good solid run. Having these fresh tires, getting some spot. I think Norgard pitted too early. A little early after burning his tires up. He really cooked them tires running the outside early in the race. And that kind of put him in the spot to where he had to pit early to try to get some track position.
Yeah, and we'll see if 59 can run down the 43. Got about 2+ seconds to get back up into second, where he's been most of the night.
Good. Francis really, I think he has fresher tires. Move here. And then we got 3 non-playoff trucks in the top 10 now. Went from everyone pretty much playoff guys. And now strategy has changed. It's like a lot of guys even had struggles on pit road. Some even lost some time looking at the result. Leaderboard right here.
Almost a little bit of a moment for Vandermarl. So here comes Eitzen trying to recover from his big save earlier on.
Oh
boy.
Yeah, Eitzen lost a lot of time with that spin, a half spin I should say. Just fights back on the outside. I didn't think he was going to get back out there.
Yeah, Justin giving Eitzen as much trouble as he gave Adams. Trey gonna pull the slide job. He's gonna clear. Here comes Justin on the crossover. Maybe.
Nope. He knows his tires are better. He knows he's faster. Good move right there. I know a lot of guys would try to make that move and just sit underneath them and do something and it not pan out very well. And that right there is a smart racer choice right there. You know the guy's faster than you. You know you really don't have a shot to even try to pass him because he's on the fresher tires. So just give him a little bump, let him have the spot. You don't lose any momentum and y'all just keep on trucking.
Absolutely. McCorkle and Frank Fody continue to battle.
Yeah, I think Frank's getting these spots back where he went a little bit longer than these guys, which is good. I mean, this is good to see out of Frank. He didn't have a really good regular season. He got caught in a lot of stuff, and I know he's not in the playoffs, but what I say is if you don't make the playoffs, you still want to show up to these races and still have good runs to try to get some momentum and get ready and get a little bit better for the following season and just get in the right mindset of what you got to do to make these playoffs.
Exactly, and no matter what, there's still always going to be a trophy on the line.
Always. Is Adamsy? Yeah, Adams has been stuck at like 13.4 for like the last, I would say, 6 or 7 laps. So I kind of think the tires evened out some here between him and Stanley. Looks like Eisen's really gaining, but he stayed out a lot longer than everybody else.
There goes Adams. He gets the pass done. Trey tried to follow his teammate through.
Yeah, it should be a easy 2 passes for Trey. He has way fresher tires than these guys.
Sure does. Job 1 done. And is about to have job 2 done here as he looks to the outside of Adams. Not able to do anything. Meanwhile, a little bit up the road, Pecumar is within a second of William White.
Yeah, it looks like he has a shot to get P2. And Norgard's has a chance. Looks like JP's gaining Norgard there. And Adams and Eisen look like they're just kind of stuck at this 13-second mark. Really can't gain anymore on Stanley. Looks like he hit the pit cycle right on the money with the number when he pitted. Adams really putting a fight on this bottom. I figure Eisen will carry a little bit more momentum here.
Yeah, no team orders here as Adams is giving Trey everything he can handle.
And Eisen did the right thing. That's if you're going to run the outside and try to make the move, get as close as you can to his back bumper. That way you're close. But looks like he scraped the wall a little bit on there on exit, and it's just not. He's just pushing him. Oh, at least made the move there, Trey.
Yeah, he's just not able to carry the speed off of the corner like you'd expect and like he needs. As Norgard and Phillips are also going at it. A whole lot of stuff going on and only so many places to look.
There's
34 by.
Multiple, yep, easy pass in, fresh tires. But yeah, you touched on multiple races in this top 10, different ones. Stanley's done checked out. You got William White here and Caleb. Caleb's just getting to him. You know, Phillips, Norgard, they were battling out. Phillips finally cleared him, and he's checking out. And the thing is, looks like Eisen and Adams, I don't know if they will catch Norgard. It's going to be close. It looks like they're actually losing a little bit of time.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised by that. This might help clinch the top 5 for Norgard here.
Yeah, it looks like Joe Francis is really, well, tired today. Woke up early this morning. But it looks like Francis has fresher tires than those 2 guys in front of him, so he looks a little better than those guys. Caleb got P2 there. There's a wheels. Oh. Well, didn't know if he wanted to go to the bottom or the outside.
And there you see Pecumar get the pass done with 3 laps to go. This is absolutely the run Caleb Pecumar needed.
Yeah, exactly what you needed. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, looking at the points, he was about 12 points out behind off the cutoff line. Well, 9 points in the stage. Top 2 finish here. This is gonna potentially be what puts Caleb Bakumer in the championship 4, as McCorkle made a little bit of wall contact as he's battling. Once again, this shift trio has not given each other an inch.
Nope, not at all. These guys are racing hard here. It looks like Ison is finally going to get by Adams here. And Francis is going to be right here. But I think Francis has the freshest tires. So I wonder if he passes Trey here, or if he just rides behind him and let Trey have that point. Oh, nope, he looks low. Oh, I thought he was going to look low and dive there.
Yeah, once again, clearly no team orders at shift. They're giving everything all of them can handle. Oh, apparently Joe got a pop-up.
Yeah, he said his antivirus popped up while he was going down the backstretch.
Woof.
And that's no fun to have something pop up on the screen when you're racing. I've had that happen a couple of times. Staley took the white, going into wood. Big gap, 6-second gap, man. He has just been super fast all night long, and excuse me for my yawn again. I am wore out from today.
You and me both. Sleep deprived, but the night has been anything but boring for Ethan Stanley. Another absolutely dominating performance from this 91 truck off of turn 4. Welcome to the championship 4. Ethan Stanley wins at Homestead.
And that's how you want to start the playoffs off. I mean, he came in, the point leader, plus 30 points, I think, above the cut. So what better way to just go in the first race? Go ahead, lock yourself in. That way you just get ready for go race Darlington in a 3 week. I think 3 weeks, or there might be an off week here. So the Darlington is a champ race, but he gives him time to really be ready for that race.
Yeah, more importantly, you don't have to worry about the potential wild cards that Richmond and Gateway will be. You got 2+ weeks of preparation to try to bring home a championship. So you see here's the 91, get ready to burn it down. Alrighty, we are gonna take a quick break and we'll be back with our top 3 finishers.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Alrighty, we are back, and before we get started with our top 3, going to give a quick shout out to one of our premier partners. Worldwide Technology Raceway is a motorsport racing facility in Madison, Illinois, just east of St. Louis, Missouri, close to the Gateway Arch. It features a 1.25-mile oval that hosts the NASCAR Cup Series, NASCAR Xfinity Series, NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, and the NTT IndyCar Series, a 2-mile infield road course used by Speed Tour Trans Am, SCCA, and the Porsche Club of America, a quarter-mile NHRA sanctioned drag strip that hosts the annual NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series Midwest Nationals event, and the Kartplex, a state-of-the-art karting facility. And first, let's go ahead and get started with our third place finisher of William White.
I definitely.
William, James in the booth, you got a copy.
Yes, sir, I do.
Well, heck of a run for you tonight. It's first top 3 in a minute here. And what a time to get it, honestly, start of the playoffs.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. Way too long to get my first podium of the season in a season where I finished third in regular season points and I think had the best average finish. So this was long overdue, but a track I enjoy, a combo I enjoy, no past champs to ruin the fun. Meant that it was fairly smooth sailing from the get-go as long as I could put in a good Q lap. I knew I could sort of hang with Ethan, at least for a decent chunk of the race, but happy with a third. It's decent points. It's really all I wanted. Got a lap lead point. I think I got a 0x point if we still do points for that. So with Tommy missing out, I think that puts me second behind Stanley with a good cushion for the next 3. So I'm happy for an opening race of the playoffs.
Absolutely, and it was a pretty clean and straightforward race for anyone. Only just the one caution on lap 1. Were you surprised by that?
Kind of, but also not really. We've seen Homestead go long green runs many, many times in all the series. That lap one deal made me think, oh, is this going to be a bit of a yellow fest? But I knew once we got sort of a dozen laps down, I'm thinking we're going to definitely make green stops at the very least. From then on, myself and Leighton, we made the call, sort of pit halfway, maybe slightly before halfway. I pitted end of 45. Just to get ahead of Ethan and Caleb, who had the luxury because they were ahead of us. Especially Ethan, he was miles off. He had the luxury of being able to go longer, come back on fresher tyres, and get us at the end. What we were banking on around lap 60 or so, when myself and Leighton cycled to the front, was then a yellow to reset everyone's strategy with us at the front. That didn't happen. I'm still very happy about a clean race done in under an hour. It's still only 1:30 a.m. over here in England, so overall, I'm satisfied, and the straightforward nature of it still bagged me a podium, so I'm happy.
Absolutely. Well, a whole lot of boxes checked for you tonight. Any more boxes you want to check as far as sponsors, plugs, and shoutouts?
Yeah, definitely. We've got everyone at Abbott Motorsports. We are continually expanding. I only had a Leighton with me tonight. We had Kale pop in for a handful of races. Didn't quite make the playoffs, unfortunately. Corey, Andrew, Jaden was in this race. I don't think he doesn't run with us in trucks. Runs with us in Grand National, but he's part of our stable now as well. He was up here. Ethan and Caleb as well for giving me a damn good race all race long. Those sliders, that over under business with Caleb and Elaine was some of the most fun I've had in a while. So that was really good. University of Chichester with their esports program, they're good fun to hang around with. Heracles Performance on the sports car side of things, they're helping me get better every single day. Shout out, obviously, everyone at Elite, yourself, Mathieu, Nick, up here, Chad, everyone at ERL on the admin side. Matthew was off tracking, and everyone for turning up. So good fun.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, William, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
All right, there's our third place finisher of William White. Now time to talk to our second place finisher of Caleb Pecumer. Caleb, James in the booth, you got a copy?
Sir, I do.
Whoa, my friend, you came into the race already being under the cut line. You needed a heck of a run to get yourself up really into the fray, and you did just that.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that coming into this, so I ended up putting in a little bit of extra practice beforehand, and luckily it worked out for me.
It sure did. Putting it on the front row and running P2 the closest to Stanley. It was an incredibly impressive run for you tonight. What were your expectations going into this one being the playoff opener?
Well, I had high expectations just because I knew that the truck was running a little tight. At least for me, it was. I think for most people. And I tend to do better at tracks that run tight, so a little bit of tire saving it helped me a lot. That the race just kept running green, and it's pretty awesome to finish behind Stanley. I feel like I haven't been up here with you guys in a while, so this is nice.
Yeah, you did fantastic. And what was the strategy for tonight, knowing how much the undercut or overcut difference makes at a high tire wear track such as this?
I knew that the undercut was going to be huge, and I had Tyler in the Discord with me, letting me know their lap times and everything, and I kind of just felt like if I just stayed out a little longer and a little longer, and got some better tires towards the end, that it would really help me out. And I didn't really nail my pit entry. I mean, I had a super slow pit entry, so that kind of put me, far behind Norgard and William. But the tires, they ended up making the difference in the end. So that was really just the strategy here. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of cautions to throw crazy things into the mix.
Yeah, a really clean race. Were you surprised by that?
I was, yeah, yeah. I kind of expected like, it's a playoff race. I mean, these guys are hungry. I mean, everybody wants a championship. So the one caution, I mean, it ended up working out for me. So I'm kind of stoked about that. But yeah, definitely surprised.
Yeah, well, like we said, it was an incredible run for you. Great way to start off the playoffs. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout outs you'd like to give?
Of course, man. Yeah, bite size sports. Obviously, putting this car on the track. Scheme looks awesome. Shout out to you guys. You guys do an awesome job with the broadcast, and shout out to all the Lake Norman guys. Frank, Dylan, Austin, Mitch. We had a lot of guys. Bryce. I mean, Tyler's brother. He's trying to climb up the ranks just like we all are. So yeah, I think that sums it up. Obviously, shout out to Stanley. Huge dub for the guy. He's going to be in the final four, so that's huge. Other than that, I think that pretty much covers it.
Alrighty, we appreciate you, Caleb, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right, there's your runner-up of Caleb Pecumer, and now time to talk to the man of the hour, your race winner, Ethan Stanley.
Oh,
Ethan, James in the booth, you got a copy?
yes, I do.
Well, I think everything went all according to plan for you there tonight.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, not really a step wrong.
No, although it came a little close there. Your pit entry there was sure a sight to behold. Take us through that.
Oh yeah, just got onto the flat and hit the rear, like hit the brakes, and the rear tires just kind of locked up. I had a very low brake bias by the end of that first run, so just a little bit sketchy, but got it woed down, and just yeah, after that, just had to chase down a Will and a Leighton for the lead there.
Eh, how big is it now that you got the win, you're locked in to the championship four, and you don't have to stress about the final races, especially since they could be considered tracks where things can get pretty wacky.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely happy to get it done in the first race, but I wasn't too worried. I had a pretty big buffer from the regular season, but happy to be locked in and can just focus on that championship finale and just getting through those couple races to the end.
Yeah, what becomes the mindset now that you're locked in the final two races? Just go out, have fun, and try to add a couple more win stickers.
Pretty much, yeah. Just go for wins. Nothing to stress about now. Just got to get ready for Darlington, which is going to be a pretty tough one for the championship finale.
Absolutely, but a dominant performance for you tonight. Any sponsors, plugs, and shoutouts you'd like to give?
Yeah, of course. Big shout out to Blue Egg Marketing, longtime sponsor with the team. Big shout out to the Lake Norman guys, especially Caleb. Fantastic race for him, and good race for all of us. Big shout out to Bryce for making his first non-super speedway start. And then just big shout out to you guys up in the booth. Love watching all these back. Big shout out to JD Designs, getting my paint done this week for the playoffs. And it's just, he does a great job with all my paints throughout the week. And then big thanks to Matthew and Chad and all the admins that run this stuff.
Alrighty, well, we appreciate you, Ethan, and hopefully we're talking to you again next week.
Yeah, see you around, guys.
Alright, there's our race winner of Ethan Stanley. And, well, I believe that just about does it for us here. Matt, what are your closing thoughts on this one?
It was a good race. Another great Homestead race. Stanley come out tonight and kick some butt, I should say. Is what we say. When you win by that much and you dominate a green flag race, you just kicked everybody's butt. So, and that's pretty much what we needed out of him. He's dominated pretty much, like he's been the guy to beat all season. And he's one of the guys that deserves to be in the champ four. So luckily he got it the first race of the playoffs. Now it gets interesting to see who's going to be the next three.
Yes, sir. But with that, I think it's time to take our leave of Homestead and head off to Richmond. But first, let's go ahead and go through the race results real quick here, at least the first page. Your race winner, of course, Ethan Stanley from Caleb Pecumer and William White, JP Phillips and Leighton Norgar rounding out the top 5. Trey Eitzen, Josh Adams, Joe Francis, Justin Vandermarl, and Trey Holmes rounding out the top 10. Michael Hosick, Dylan Javier, Frank Fody, Ricky Harden, Ty McIntosh rounding out the top 15, and Cody McCorkle and Jaden Rasimas and Austin and Abnett rounding out the first page. Well, I think it's time for us to get the heck on out of here. For my broadcast partners, Matthew Weeks and Nick Massey, I'm James Watson bidding you adieu from Homestead. Have a good night, everyone.